Hey everybody, it's me, Noir Jones, back with a new video. This is a open carry report for September 25th, 2025. I know I'm late. Life happens. CP time maybe, but no, I just I've been pretty busy. Exhausted. I didn't really feel like making a video, or I didn't have the words to come out. They want to put it on camera. But I finally got something I wanted to talk about. Also, I wanted to share my opinion on. I have a different opinion from a video that Colion Noir I just posted about open carry being outdated. Of course, I'm going to say, of course, I have a different opinion of that, and some comments by Sheriff Grady Judd. I do these videos because I enjoy carrying a firearm. I enjoy carrying a firearm openly because when I came here from New York City, I was 12. I thought I was going to see more people carrying guns, but didn't see it happen. Time had gone by. We became open carry state with a permit in August 15th, 2021. Then we became constitutional carry March 7th of 2024, and I've been loving it. Loving every bit of it. Now, I do carry concealed to show that I'm not totally on one side. I'm wearing my favorite rig for Sundays. It's from my Browning High Power. I got dual magazines right here, for reloads. And it's funny that I'm wearing a Browning High Power where I'm also wearing a Springfield Armory t-shirt because I know they had their SA-35. They've gained popularity, which is very interesting because I know that Browning stopped making the High Power in 2018, but the SA-35 they've made some improvements, and it's been gaining a lot of popularity. I think that's why you can't find many holsters for them. I mean, at least many open carry holsters. I lucked out and wife got me one for Christmas, and it's something I'm very happy to do, carrying openly. It's been a good experience so far. But one of the things I want to talk about in this video is a video that Colion Noir had just posted, saying that open carry is outdated. And he included some comments by our favorite sheriff, Grady Judd, down in Florida. Now, the situation in Florida is that the ban on open carry has been found to be unconstitutional by a court, but and the state's attorney general said that he won't prosecute anyone for carrying openly, but the law hasn't been changed, so it's going to get worked out in the legislative process. And so many people may start to carry openly in Florida, which is cool. That's great, because I know one of the things that people have been fighting for, be able to be alongside constitutional carry, is to be able to carry openly. And that's why there have been a lot of campaigns where you have people openly carrying a rifle along with a fishing rod, because in that state you can carry a firearm openly if you're doing some type of hunting activity, some type of outdoor activity like hunting or fishing. So a lot of people out there they'll do many videos on YouTube of guys protesting, or they're taking a stand where they're carrying openly and have a fishing rod, and they'll do like man on the street interviews and things like that. Now, concealed carry is very popular. I'm not oblivious to that, and I do like concealed carry. I think it has its place. The rig I'm wearing, I wear this on Sundays. Like I wear it when I go to church. It's not a distraction. But I don't think it's fair to say that open carry is outdated when there are many benefits to carrying openly. The weather, comfort, accessibility, one-handed operation. But a big thing I always lean on is is a way of public education. I think it's important for people to be able to see someone other than police carrying a firearm openly. Now, a comment that Grady Judd made was that he said that there's the idea that like criminals acts as a deterrent. Well, he said that where he in his neck of the woods is not really a deterrent. The criminals they have over there are the type that would actually see that gun on your hip, take it off you, and he basically said, "Shut up your ass and pull the trigger." Now, the question I have for that is, if that's the kind of criminals you have, why do you? And again, people have brought this point up. I made the comment in the comment section. I've seen a few other people who comment on it. If that's the type of criminals you have down in Florida, and that's how you think that a lot of criminals operate, then why do cops carry openly? Now it can be said that it's part of their uniform, but if that's a threat, if that's a risk that you think that, and that's an extreme risk, and having a gun taken off your hip, and and having it become sodomized by it, that is a very extreme risk to face. But how often if that is the case, does it happen to cops? Because the same gear that cops have access to, the public has access to them. In fact, again, this rig that I use for my Browning High Power, this is a surplus military holster. It's a level 2 because it's hooded. Um, you have to manipulate the release function in order to get to it. But those kind of options out there that cops have access to, I mean, wouldn't that serve as a deterrent for someone to be able to keep someone from quickly taking a gun off you? Because it means that it had to be a very good struggle. And there are even cops that carry the guns in I think it's level 3 and level 4 retention holsters, which I think is out, that's a little much. I think for at least for anyone who's not a cop, I think level 2 is enough. But if that's a risk, with having a gun taken off you and shoved up your ass, why do cops carry openly? When you want your cops carrying concealed, when you want them to be guarded from that risk, you can say that because I'm pretty sure cops have had to struggle with retaining their firearms, but I think it's also a question of how often does it happen. How often do people who carry openly with a retention holster? There's another thing I want to point out, because a video that Colion showed on his video where he showed he had like a highlight reel of situation where people had their guns taken off their hips. They didn't have their gun in a hole. They didn't have their gun in a retention holster. They had their guns tucked in their waistband or in a level 1 retention holster, or even just a passive retention holster. They had the guns just sitting there, and in an environment where it's likely that someone's going to take the gun off of you, it happens. But you didn't see any situations where a cop had their gun taken off their hip, or someone who had a level 2 or higher retention holster being robbed of their firearm. You didn't see that. And I think it's a bit disingenuous to say that that's having a gun stolen off you is a major risk when cops carry openly, and level 2, level 3, and level 4 retention holsters exist for everyone to purchase. Another thing is, of course, you have a tactical advantage with carrying concealed. But is that really a guarantee that you're not going to be attacked? Because one point that I've heard again, that if you're carrying openly, you'll be easy target. You'll be the one that someone decides to deal with. Well, who's to say that no one can get? Well, who's to say that you can't get the drop? No one can get the drop on you if you carry concealed. Because if you're carrying concealed, and let's say someone decides to rob you for whatever reason, yeah, you may have an opportunity to get to your gun, but there is a risk of that person having a drop on you. Now, I'm not saying you can't. You don't. There's no chance of you fighting back. If someone has a drop on you, but you have about the same risk of getting harmed if someone has a drop on you as someone that you say that is going to have the attention by carrying openly. Basically, if someone has a drop on you, it's going to be a risky situation anyway. Your first line of defense really is your alertness, is your situational awareness. You can't think that just because your gun is hidden that you're immune to anyone getting the drop on you or anyone attacking you. You have to rely on situational awareness. Now, I will say that if you're carrying openly, it's hot. Your situational awareness is going to be a little more higher, because it's out there for people to. It's out there. Now, I'm not saying it's out there for people to see. It's out there where people can see it. But I think many people are so wrapped up in their own, wrapped up in whatever they're doing, don't really notice. Because I've had no, I'm not thinking anyone would do it, but I haven't had anybody harass me. But for people who have noticed that I was carrying openly, I've gotten primarily good responses. Cops and from just other people, whether it be in a restaurant or in a grocery store, people have either said something nice. They ask me questions about carrying. They ask me some questions about firearms, or they'll make a joke. They say, "Oh man," they say, "Oh," and then they throw their hands up, in a joking manner, I laugh and I keep it rolling. And I think that's good. I think it's good for people to see. I think it's good for people who have not taken up that responsibility to exercise their right to carry a firearm or carry any type of arms on them. I think it's good for them to be able to see ordinary people carrying during their day-to-day business. I think it's you have a tactical advantage of carry concealed, but how else is anyone supposed to see the positives of carrying a firearm if they don't see anyone doing it? If they're all hidden, really how is that really spurring someone to say, you know what, maybe I should consider that myself? And I get that there's a lot of resources out there on carrying firearms, carrying concealed magazines, but typically you have to kind of look for that kind of stuff. No one's really looking for that when they're out and about in public, but it is good to be able to see someone demonstrating it right there in front of you. And one other thought I've had is that let's say tactical advantage. If the idea is that you're trying to get a tactical advantage by keeping your gun hidden, well, what kind of environment are you in? If you're in an environment where you think and again, this is just me spitballing, but I think if you're in an environment where you think that you need a tactical advantage by keeping your firearm hidden because you're concerned about someone else getting access to it, well, why not have a rifle? Because it seems like the situation you're in. Again, I'm just spitballing, but it seems like the situation you're in. If you need to have it hidden, you seem like you have an expectation of danger. And if that's the case, why not have something that has a lot more punch to it? Why not carry a PDW? Why not carry like an AR pistol, something like that? I think firearms are good. They're good for civil society. Seeing a firearm is good for civil society because you're not expecting danger, but you have a way of responding to it if it does occur. There's nothing that's there's nothing extreme. It's something that's it's small, it's handy. It's just another piece of hardware that a person has on their hip. I don't think that seeing them out in public is something that should raise alarm. I think it's something that should be seen as that's great. He's exercising his right, or he's doing something to keep himself or his loved ones safe. He's being proactive with his personal defense. He is his own first responder, which I think is an attitude that people should have. And I think that one of the best ways to demonstrate that is if more people see firearms in public. I get the concern of a bad guy seeing it, but really, if you think there are that many bad guys out in public, then you're better off carrying a rifle. you're better off having something that's even more scary. If you want to ward off someone who you think who's gonna try you. Again, that's a spitballing idea, but I just think that it's not open carry is not outdated. It's not something that should be seen as antiquated. I think if anything, I think if you have a cool pistol, it's cool. It's nice to show it all. It's nice to show it to the public. It's nice to show that, hey, look at this thing, is this cool tool that I have. You can have it too. Now they can if they think that, I can have yours. Okay, well, you're in for a fight if that's the case. But I think openly carrying a firearm shows that this tool has a place in civil society. It shouldn't be hidden. There are situations where it may call for it to be concealed, but whether it be you don't want a fashion faux pas or something like that. But I think if you need to keep it concealed because of where you're at, then I think if anything, it seems like you're in an area where it's not favorable. And how else are you going to make it favorable if at all possible, then for people to actually see someone carrying openly, carrying openly and responsibly, something with a level to a higher retention holster. That's just my 2 cents. This video is going on, I think, a little bit long enough, but that's all I want. That's all I want to do is just share my thoughts on his video. Again, he has a great channel, but that's just a difference of opinion that I have. Again, I'm not totally against concealed carry. I like this rig. For me, I think this is the best rig for carrying concealed. Even with its drawbacks, but I think that open carry still has a place in civil society. It definitely has a place in American society. But please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you think I'm on the ball? You think do you disagree with me? Please share your thoughts. I hope to get on a more regular schedule with my videos. But I just wanted to do a video on this topic because it's near and dear to my heart. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. But that's my video. It's an open carry report, and just me sharing my thoughts on a video that Colion Noir did. Today is September 25th, 2025. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.